Everything I've loved in this world, and even the curse that fell on me too.
Hello everybody, Infernape Shinjo here, and welcome to another tier list video. And today I am going to be ranking Ash and his companions, and they included a couple of extra characters here for a reason. I don't know exactly why, but I had this idea of discussing Ash's companions. I was initially going to have my top 10, but I feel like a tier list works a lot better. And this is realistically the best one that I could find, because the other one I found chopped off people's heads. It was a bit of a hot mess. But here we have the tier list of My Heart Forever, You Will Always Be Famous, I Love You So Much, Yes, Good, and Don't Care. I love whoever made this tier list because they definitely have a sense of humor. Or maybe not, I don't know. But I sorted them based off of generation. Obviously, Ash is going to be the last one because that makes so much sense. So let's start with Brock and Misty. I don't want to put them in Don't Care because they're the first generation, so clearly I do. I think when Brock is really good, he's really, well, I'll put him in yes. Because the thing I like is when Brock is being a mentor to Ash, and then he in turn being a mentor to May and Dawn and so on and so forth. But when he goes gaga over every female that he runs into, it does get kind of repetitive. Basically, when Brock's good, he's really good. His comedy sometimes doesn't land. I think I'm gonna put Misty a little bit below because she's good, obviously the first generation, so I have to give some respect to that. But at the same time, she didn't really have much of a personality outside of, I want my bike back. At least until later on. She actually became a lot better of a character in my opinion, and the fact that she's more positive definitely helps. And I think, since Gary's here, I don't know why Gary's here, but Gary's here, I think I'm gonna put him right above Brock and Misty. He is such a fun character. I enjoy seeing him in Pokemon Journeys. It's just so nostalgic for me. And let's get this out of the way. Tracy, I don't care. I know that there's probably people that legitimately care about Tracy, but the circumstances where he was brought in to replace Brock doesn't really leave a good taste in anybody's mouth. But he's an interesting character. I just wish he had more fleshed out personality. And going on to the third generation, Max, same situation. Not to the extent of Tracy, but they both ended up at Oak's lab at the end, so I feel like it's fair to rank them in the same tier. And Max, he could have been good. I really like moments where he was upset that his dad lost in a gym battle, and the moment with Ralt especially, and he must be popular in some sense since he literally got a whole movie to himself. But it's just a smart mouth character, and I didn't really like him, especially since he couldn't even battle to back up his talk. And as for May, May's gonna go and I Love You So Much. Easy. I don't think there's much contest for this. I don't even know what it is. It's just like when I look back on the Hoenn series, there isn't really much that stands out. But then when I think of May, I automatically think, yes, May is such a fun character. And the fact that she's so relatable since she's always hungry really helps as well. And Dawn? I don't know, because when it comes to the fourth generation, I remember the Chimchar line, Ash and Paul's dynamic much more. Dawn's character is really good in a sense that she started off being kind of arrogant since her mom was a contest star. She thought that she'd be a good contest star. But then when she falls and learns to pick herself back up and all that, it was really good in that sense. I think I'm going to put her right above, right above Misty makes sense. Because she had more of a fleshed out personality compared to Misty. But at the same time, she was kind of in the back seat, at least compared to Ash, which isn't that big of a shock. And she isn't the main thing that I remember from Diamond and Pearl. And I think, this is based off of my own personal bias, Silent's gonna go and I Love You So Much. People probably don't stand Silent. I'm sure there are people that do not like Silent, but I absolutely love him. The fact that he can be a connoisseur of anything just makes it even better. Jason Griffith puts on an amazing performance as Silent, and I absolutely love it. Even just the minor things of Silent just being over the top, and now I cannot think of Silent without thinking of Sonic the Hedgehog because same VA in the dub. As for Iris, you know what? I think Iris is gonna go good. Now this is probably gonna change later on because I probably gonna change my opinion. Actually, do I want to kind of trigger people? I do kind of want to trigger people. Okay, Misty's going in good tier. Dawn's going up to yes. I mean, Iris is going up to yes. Because while Misty and Iris definitely have similarities in that they're gym leaders, they have a fear of a certain Pokemon type, and they just belittle Ash, calling him a kid, I think Iris does it better, although that helps where in Pokemon Journey she actually became a champion. Misty got Mega Evolution. That's really about it. Now that's still impressive, sure, and I do have to give Misty respect. I think if I would change it maybe below Iris, but I want to at least include someone in good tier so it doesn't look blank. Although again, these lists might change by the end of it. Clement is going to go in an easy yes. I don't know where I'm going to put him. I think I'm going to put him above Brock. Just a hair. Because Brock and Clement are both the cooks of the group, and they both have their running gags. Brock with women, Clement with his inventions blowing up. But I like Clement's more because even though his explosions happen a lot, they don't define his character. Brock, I always think, oh, the ladies' man, clearly. But with Clement, he has more personality and more depth where he focuses on how am I going to defeat Ash in this gym battle. Now granted, he does kind of take a back seat after that, but it's rough. It's rough after the 5th gym battle because after that Clement gets sidelined, but up till then it was really good. And let me rank Bonnie next. Bonnie, I just love her so much. For full transparency, literally the day before I'm recording this, I watched the episode where Clement and Bonnie return in Journeys, and just seeing Bonnie again, it's just amazing. I don't remember her performance much in the Japanese version. Her voice sounds a bit different, although I might have been familiar more with the dub. But Bonnie is just a fun character. In my opinion, the kid character like Max, but done right. Because Bonnie legitimately loves Pokemon. You can definitely see that in the way that she interacts. And that scene with Squishy near the end of XY was just really good. Plus the fact that Bonnie just falls in love with Pokemon that aren't necessarily cute like Ash's Dracovish certainly helps with her character, that she's just not a female that likes cutesy Pokemon. And as for Serena, I think she's gonna go below Clement. I feel like that's fair, putting all the XY casts in a similar vein. Now, there are probably people that will probably put her at the top tier, and I can understand that. But it's rough that I kind of have to separate Serena as a character from the fandom. Because when it comes to Serena and the fandom, it just seems like a lot of toxic people. Like, I know that there are people online from what I've seen on Twitter that were upset that Serena wasn't in the flashback with Ash, Clement, and Bonnie when he was reminiscing in that episode. But it's just like, don't worry, Serena's gonna come back. People keep berating the artist over it, and she's eventually gonna come back, probably. Although I hope I didn't date this video by saying that. But it's just like, when it comes to XY, it doesn't seem like anybody can do anything without anybody mentioning Serena or Ash's Greninja. It just feels kind of toxic. But as far as Serena as a character, she definitely was good. I personally like Clement's development over the series more than Serena's, but I do gotta give kudos to Serena's. And the Sun and Moon cast, what do I want to do? I'm gonna put Lana and Lily, and I Love You So Much. That's an easy one. And I think the only fair thing, Kiawe is gonna go in yes. Is that where I'm gonna leave him? I think above Iris. I think that's fair. And then Sophocles and Mallow, are going to go in the good tier. It doesn't really matter where I sort them at there, because Lily and Lana are my two personal favorites from the group. Lily definitely had the most development from the group, so that was going to be obvious. But Lana I just love because I love the color blue, and the fact that she is more of a jokester. Like, she literally jokes about fishing up a shiny Gyarados, a giant Kyogre. She's just a character that likes to have fun. Even though her character as a whole didn't really do much besides evolve her Popplio, because she literally still has an Eevee, but, you know, it's okay. I think for Gladion, I do like Gladion's development. I think I'm going to put him right above Gary. I think that's a good placement for him. He definitely had as much development as Lily did, maybe even more, but I just like Lily more. And as for the Journeys cast, I do want to leave Ash for last. I think Go is going to go in good. That is a lot of alliteration. I feel like Go is going to go right there. I think I'm going to put him above Misty. Maybe just a smidgen. I think... No, actually, I like his placement right there below Misty. Just right below. Because there are moments with Go that I really like, where his Sobble evolves and then he learns, I've always been a loner, I've always been the one that's kind of in the back seats. That development's really good. But then when it comes to Go's goal, it's just catch Pokemon, and that's it. And it leads to him capturing 10, 20 Pokemon per episode, and we don't get much development on many of them. Goal is good, and the fact that he joined Project Mew is good. It just took some time. And I think for Koharu, I do like her character. I like her design. I love how in the dub she's the same voice as Patty from Soul Eater, but she doesn't really have a solid goal. And that's kind of upsetting, especially when they had the development of her being the daughter of Cerise. That kind of helps, but they don't really do anything with it. They just have one episode of a throwaway line of, I don't know what I'm going to do. Am I going to be a professor or am I going to be something else? And they just don't do anything with it. She gets Eevee and then the episodes are, let's meet an Evolution every episode that I'm in. And she just goes missing for 5 to 10 episodes at a time, and it's just very weird. Now, as for Ash, there are some moments of Ash that I don't understand. There are times, like, dude, the earliest example, aim for the horn. I feel like that is just out there. But I feel like being Ash and his off-the-wall strategies, especially in Down and Pearl with the spinning attack and all these impromptu moves that he comes up with, I think I'm going to put him right, maybe right there? I think that's fair, because between these 6 here, I'm going to have to decide who's going to go in the top tier. And I think I'm going to put Ash in the top tier. I feel like that makes sense. And who else am I going to put in top tier? I don't think it's fair to put Bonnie in the top tier because she doesn't even have any Pokemon. I think what I might do, put May in top tier and move Bonnie to the very top of that tier. That looks fair. Yeah, that looks fine. I think if I would, just based off of my own personal take, I would probably be tempted to put Lana in top tier. But the thing is, from what I've seen, it seems like May's character is basically done. Because as far as I know, her VA is not voicing anymore or something like that. I don't know the details. But basically it seems like her story is done. So I feel like the way that they ended her story was really good. But I think that May is just a really good character overall. And as I'm looking at this list again, it's really fair. And it's probably a very generic list, but I'm fine with it. But if you enjoy, hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't. Don't ask me why Gladion and Gary are here. I have no idea. But leave a like if you enjoyed. Let me know who your favorite characters from the Pokemon series are. Especially, although I guess I should clarify Ash's companions. And let me know if you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Momentai.